Savior, on the other hand, needs to keep Kanata in his main. And Savior coming in with a Mutalist. Kanata's already got 2 turrets up. Savior managed to cancel one of the turrets. Kanata brings in his Marines to reinforce. Savior takes out 2 of the turrets. Brilliant micro by Savior. Brilliant Mutalist micro. He takes out 2 of the turrets before the Marine reinforcements arrive. And that was really great play. It didn't cost Kanata a lot of resources, but it has, again, distracted Kanata a little bit. But that being said, Kanata hasn't got that control tower up yet. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of strategy Savior goes for, how he plans to defend his territory, whether he's going to go for sort of a territorial defense. And now Savior once again harass, or whether he's going to go for the more aggressive harass offensive defense, where he really concentrates on keeping the opponent in his base by constant harass rather than trying to defend all of his various bases while he spreads across the map. And Savior now sending drones all over the map, and this is typical Savior macro. He's going to try and get expansions all over while he keeps Kanata boxed up. And Kanata really needs to do something here. He needs to get out of the... And Kanata, interestingly enough, has gone for the science vessel first before a dropship. I haven't seen a dropship for Kanata yet. He's gone for that science vessel. And I think, you know, Kanata is obviously fearing those lurkers. And unfortunately for him, Savior has not built in lurkers. Savior has not invested in lurkers. To be honest, I haven't even seen a Heartless Den yet for Savior. He's now putting up his... Zerg Hive. He's now researching to Hive. So interesting gameplay by Kanata. He's playing far too defensively. Yes, he's got his 3 barracks up, he's got his 4 barracks up, he's got lots of Marines, he's got defenses, he's got his expansion, but all the same time, he's just allowing Savior to get his economy up and running. He's just not affecting any harass. He's not slowing down Savior's tech at all. He still hasn't got siege tanks. He's got to affect some sort of push here before Savior's got defilers and ultras, because otherwise the game is over. And this is really thus far a non-contest. Kanata needs to do something here. In my view, it's Kanata who needs to take the initiative, because Savior, I don't know if it's the brilliance of Savior or just very timid play by Kanata. He's got those 2 engineering bases up. He's researching furiously. He's going to have very strongly upgraded Marines. He's putting up those turrets. He just doesn't feel safe. And Savior, I think there was a genius move by Savior. And again, I think, you know, it's all action and reaction, cause and effect. Kanata didn't harass Savior at all early game. He fast expanded. He didn't pressurize Savior at all. Savior had the time. Savior relaxed, teched up straight away, went straight for the Spire, did not need to invest in Sunken until very late in the game, and Kanata finally moving out. Now, that being said, Kanata has got a very large force of medic and Marines, as well as 2 science vessels. Savior's only got a handful of Zerglings and Mutalists. He does not have any lurkers or anything like that sort to slow Kanata down. Kanata feels he's got enough defenses in place now in his main in terms of countering those Mutalists. He's got enough turrets in place. He's now building a second starport. He's continuing to pump those barracks, so no siege at all for Kanata. And I think he figures that this is going to be very much a Terran bio game for him because of the large spread of the map. And I did see Savior set out a couple more drones. I expected Savior will be building more expansions around the middle of the map, perhaps in the 7 o'clock position, but I have not seen an expansion go on for Savior. He's sticking with that one expansion that he's got at the 5 o'clock position. But most notably, the one thing I have noticed about Terran versus Zerg games is that invariably, and Savior just losing one of the Scourges, one of the things, again, that Savior is legendary for is his Scourge micro. And now Savior finally setting up that expansion at the 7 o'clock position. And one of the things that invariably, if you let a Zerg get the 3rd gas uncontested, then invariably the Zerg is going to overrun you with that tech advantage that he can procure from the 3rd gas. And Savior now is going to try and run around the back door with those Zerglings. Kanata has more than enough to defend this. This is going to be suicide for Savior if he goes in here. Kanata's got more than enough units and troops to that, or maybe Savior just wants to cut off reinforcements. But the problem for Savior is that he has expanded, but what is he going to defend with? He's got that Nihilus up. I don't even know if he's put up a Heartless Den yet. Certainly I haven't seen it unless I missed it. He doesn't seem to have any lurkers. He has got Ultralists though, but I think he really would need a couple of lurkers. So if he loses those expansions, he's going to be tough. He's gotten to that stage where he's almost ready to start reaping the harvest of his massive economy and his tech and produce all those units. But Savior's going to be in huge trouble now. He's building his Mutalists back. He does have the Nidus Canal up and running. He's sending Zerglings as well, but he needs to get some units in that base now, or it's going to go down, and this is going to be very painful for Savior. He's trying to get a couple of Sunkens up. Kanata scans. He knows he's going to be able to take his base down before Savior can come out. Savior producing a couple of Ultralists, forces Kanata back. Kanata doesn't seem to have Irradiate yet, or he would be in. Savior with 4 Ultralists now out of that Nidus Canal is slowing Kanata down. One of his Sunkens is up. Savior's got Zerglings coming in from the behind. He's got Mutalists coming in as well. He needs to take down science vessels. Both the science vessels taking him down. Kanata's forces get pincered by the Ultralists, the Mutalists, and the Zerglings, and Kanata's forces are being wiped all over the map. They're being massacred for Kanata. He's just gone to his death. He's just gone into the Valley of Death. Savior lures Kanata into the shadow of the Valley of Death and delivers the hammer blow. Is Kanata going to be able to recover from this? I don't know. He's certainly got fast production. He's already got 3 science vessels and a lot of units up, but Savior didn't lose a lot of Ultralists or a lot of forces. Kanata still not having the Irradiate, and really just Kanata's strategy is just not working on this map versus Savior. I think he's gone for completely the wrong kind of strategy, completely the wrong kind of build. In this day and age, this is just not going to work for him. He's now finally got a siege tank up and out as well. But Savior is now really in a very strong position in this game. He's got 4 Sunkers, so that's enough to slow Kanata's advance down the main towards his main. He's now also building at the 7 o'clock expansion. I missed that in that corner there if there was an SCV or something that had scouted that base. Kanata has got a large force moving around the middle of the map, but really he lost all of those units without inflicting any serious damage to Saber. He killed maybe one Sunken in that expansion. I'm not sure if Kanata has scouted that expansion at the 7 o'clock position. He certainly is aware of the one at the 5 o'clock position as we saw him push towards it. And Saber really being allowed to play the game at his will, and Saber keeping Kanata at bay. He's got an ultra, and Kanata has started that expansion at the 7 o'clock position, so it'd be interesting to see what he makes a beeline for. That expansion doesn't have a Nidus canal yet, so if Kanata went with everything for the expansion, I think he'd have a good chance of taking it out. But really, Saber brilliantly there with his Mutalisk and Zerglings. I think he still managed to keep a few of his Mutalisk alive. And Saber might get a couple of Zerglings caught here, just trying to catch some of those. And Kanata now working out the bio, working out the radiant, and Saber has already killed 2 of his science vessels, but it's very important that Saber continue to kill the science vessels. Kanata is pumping those science vessels with that 2 gas that he has. He's pumping those, and Kanata now going for the 3rd gas, and unfortunately irradiate for Saber's ultra. He's losing a few Zerglings there, and there's nothing he can do about that. But Kanata is pumping those science vessels from those 2 starports, and Saber's really got to do something about this. He's really got to keep those science vessels numbers down, but I do have faith in Saber because that is something he's very good at. Now Kanata, having scared Saber's forces away, seems to be pushing towards that expansion to the 5 o'clock position. Saber's Nidus canal is not complete, and I'm not sure if it's going to be complete in time. Kanata undoubtedly is going to be focusing his fire on that as soon as his troops arrive. His troops, however, are lagging a little bit. They are spread a little bit thin in his rush to get there. The Nidus is up. Kanata's coming in with the science vessels. Saber's forces are not coming out the Nidus. He's got forces coming out the Nidus canal. He doesn't have as many Sunkens in place now. He's losing a lot of Zerglings, and Saber's forces spread a little bit thin here. He's not really fighting in a bunch, and this is relatively poor. Just as he pincered Kanata's forces perfectly the last time around, this time he's really allowed Kanata to fight and divide his forces and kill them one at a time, and Kanata progressing through this base. Saber's got his Ultras finally streaming in, but they don't have a lot of Zerglings in support. Now the Scourge is coming in to try and take down science vessels. Is he going to be able to take down? He takes out 1 science vessel. He does. I think he only took down 1 science vessel there, despite having a lot of Scourges, and that's unfortunate for Saber. He needed those Scourges to have more of an impact. Kanata loses his Medic and Marine force, but that undoubtedly will be replenished sooner rather than later, and it is already replenished. And now he's got 6 or 7 science vessels, and I can see really, guys, I can really see Kanata now coming back in this game, even though I would have felt that Saber is in and was in the stronger position. Still is, to be honest, because Kanata has failed to kill any of those expansions. That's really the key. Yes, he's attacked. Yes, he's come out with his science vessels on top. And really, the only reason I'm still saying that Kanata is in this game is because he has so many science vessels. Critically for me, I don't understand why Saber has not put up a Defiler's Den. A Plague would be really handy on all those science vessels right about now, along with a single Mutalisk. And excuse me, a Plague would also be incredibly handy to deal with Kanata's Medic and Marine forces. And now one of those science vessels, Carolyn, and Kanata obviously taking a little bit of risk there. He went in and he's irradiated 4 Ultralisks, so that's going to be, and Saber now finally has the Defiler up. He's put the Defiler Den up. Saber, though, has got an expansion now at the 6 o'clock position, so Saber's spreading all over the map. Saber's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expansions to Kanata's 3. That being said, Kanata, playing the bio game, can hold out against this, but he just hasn't been able to break Saber's defense a single time yet. He hasn't once so far this matchup killed an expansion of Saviors, and will the 6 o'clock expansion be the first? And once again Kanata ventures in with those science vessels, and really this is the problem for Savior, because he's not got a Defiler sitting there, because he's not got Scourges waiting in all of his bases. Perhaps he just doesn't have enough for that because he's building so many Ultralisks.